Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my another episode of Knowing the Facts of COVID 19. My name is Sanjay, and today we will know a few more important facts about the SARS CoV 2 virus. So, stay tuned and enjoy. Well, it's been some time now that we have been listening to different facts and figures about the COVID 19, and there are a lot of different talks about the same. Now, above all, there are something which is being repeatedly spoken about, and that is the impact of coronavirus on the patients who have a serious underlying medical conditions. Well, coronavirus or the COVID-19 is a new disease, and there is a very little and limited information available regarding the risk factors for its severity of this particular disease. Now, however, based on whatever current information we have and as per the clinical expertise, it's been noticed that the older adults and the people of any age who has a serious underlying medical conditions might be at a higher risk of getting infected by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Now, based on what we know, there is a big list of people who are at a higher risk from coronavirus. Now, the list goes on, and some of the things which actually it affects a person to be more prone to coronavirus is the age. Now, older people about 65 years of age are more prone to get infected by coronavirus. Now, people in the nursing home or hospital who are undergoing a long medical treatment, they are also more prone to this infection. Now, people of all ages with underlying medical conditions, especially if they are not well controlled. Okay. And now, apart from that, the people with chronic lung diseases or a moderate to severe asthma patients, people who have serious heart conditions, then people who are compromised. That means the patients undergoing a cancer treatment, patients who are undergoing or undergone a bone marrow or organ transplantation, patients who are smokers, patients who are poorly controlled HIV or AIDS, and the patients who have prolonged use of corticosteroids. Now, people with severe obesity, especially with the BMI of above 40, they are they have a very high risk of getting infected by coronavirus. Apart from that, people with chronic kidney diseases, people with liver diseases, and of course, people with diabetes have a higher risk of getting infected. So let us today understand how does this coronavirus affect the people with diabetes. Obviously, we will speak about the other scenarios as well, but in my later videos. Well, as we all know that COVID-19 is a highly infectious disease, and it's caused by a novel coronavirus, and it spreads through close personal contact with someone who has the virus. But diabetes is a chronic metabolic condition that causes a high blood glucose levels. Okay. Now, as a high blood glucose level can weaken the patient's immune system, the immune system does not work well in the people with diabetes, and therefore it makes it harder for their body to fight against this virus. Now, also the novel coronavirus may thrive in the environment of elevated blood glucose. So it becomes easy for the coronavirus to invade into these kind or such kind of human bodies. Now, according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, that is CDC, the patients with diabetes are at a higher risk of developing serious conditions if infected by coronavirus. Now, there are a list of complications which a diabetic patient may develop. Now, these complications includes something called diabetic ketoacidosis. Now, what is this diabetic ketoacidosis and how does it sets in? Well, when stress or illness sets in, the blood glucose level may rise, and then a person with diabetes does not have enough insulin to deal with this situation. Okay. Now, during this situation, what happens is the body begins to break down fats for energy, resulting in building up of ketones as a byproduct, and these blood ketones make the blood more acidic because these ketones itself are acidic in nature. Now, once the blood turns acidic, it quickly causes serious health problems. For this reason, DKA, that is a diabetic ketoacidosis, requires an emergency medical attention. Right? Now, there is another complication which is called pneumonia. Well, we all have heard about this term a lot, but what really pneumonia is? Well, pneumonia is an infection characterized by inflammation of the air sacs in the lungs. It's very simple. Now, people with diabetes, what happens? Well, in people with diabetes has a higher risk or a greater risk of developing pneumonia from respiratory illnesses such as COVID-19. Now, all people with diabetes above 2 years of age should undergo a pneumococcal and annual influenza vaccinations. So this is very important, and this is must and should for any diabetic patients. Now, there is another complication which is called as dehydration. So the term is very common. Now, the studies have shown that if a person with diabetes has a fever from COVID-19, they lose additional fluids very quickly, and these can lead to dehydration, which may require the intravenous fluid administration. Now, high blood glucose is another matter of concern for the diabetic patients with COVID-19. Now, we know that like in case of infection, or when the infection causes a stress, and in the response the body produces an increased glucose, or the production of glucose increases during this stress situation. Now, this results in a higher than normal blood sugar levels. Now, at this time the body may need an extra insulin. Okay, therefore a person should be monitoring their blood sugar levels or blood glucose levels frequently, as they can very easily or very suddenly spike up. Now, as there has been no specific treatment available for COVID-19 till date, the prevention is the only way to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Now, as we know, the novel coronavirus spreads through the tiny droplets that spread into the air when a person with coronavirus sneezes or coughs. Now, anyone within the 6 feet or 2 meters of the person can inhale this droplet and get infected. Now, the virus can also transmit from the surfaces of an infected person if they have touched it. Although it is important for everyone to protect themselves from getting infected by this virus, but the people with diabetes should take an extra care to protect themselves by following some of the important tips. So for example, they need to frequently wash their hands with soap and water, or using an alcohol based swabs or a hand sanitizer when soaps are not available. Now, not touching the surfaces that others have already touched. Then frequently disinfecting any potentially contaminated surface, such as the countertops, the tabletops, the door handles, etc. etc. Now, not touching the eyes, nose or mouth with unwashed hands. And this is very important, because as human beings we tend to take our hands or bring our hands towards our eyes, nose and mouth. Now during this situation we need to avoid this completely, because if we have touched a surface which has been infected or which has been already infected by coronavirus, we can infect ourselves if we touch the eyes, nose or mouth in that case. Now, practicing a physical distancing by staying at least 6 feet to 2 meters away from the others in public places. This is again very important. Now, covering their cough and sneeze with a tissue or elbow, absolutely, but the hands, absolutely no to the hands. Now, avoiding any contact with the others who are sick, especially those who have fever, cough or both. Now, keeping the immune system strong by getting at least 7 hours of sleep per night and reducing the stress levels as much as possible, we can definitely reduce the possibility of getting infected by this, or rather we can increase our immune system, and definitely we can restrict ourselves or save ourselves a bit to get infected by coronavirus. The other important thing is trying to keep the blood glucose level under good control. Okay. So anyone with diabetes who develops symptoms of COVID-19 should contact their healthcare provider as soon as possible. Now, though people with diabetes are at higher risk, the more serious complications from COVID-19, it is possible to reduce the risk by maintaining the blood glucose levels and following the infection prevention measures, as I just told you a while back. So that is it for today, guys. Hope to see you soon with some more interesting videos. Till then, have a great time, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye bye.